Good morning. I hope you are well. Today is, what date is today? I should probably know this and actually started before and looked at the date. Okay, 15th of June 2021. The other day I did a video and telling you I was going to go on this deeper sound journey, and I'm going to go with a film crew and we're going to go and film some of the ancient sites in the UK. We're going to look at the connection between history and sound and human beings and magnetics and sacred geometry and the magic and the mysteries of the universe. Cannot wait. I'm going to use my Where's Natat channel to talk about all the tidbits of information that I find behind the scenes, and then we're going to display on I Am Sound when we start. So with that said, so this is my book that I got, the Rosecrution manual. I'm not a Rosecrucian. I'm not studying it for the purpose of being in the order of the Rosecrutions. For those of you who don't know what the Rosecrutions are, go and study them, go and take a look. They are a secret order, a kind of a secret society, as it were, back in the day that studied ancient principles. Now, if you weren't part of the Rosecrucian order, probably you didn't know about them, but if you did, and you were part of them, you would be going up in levels of degree. You would be learning a little bit like the Freemasons. They are not the Freemasons. It says very clearly in the beginning of their book that they are not the Freemasons themselves. But what it does is it explains, this is volume 8, okay? Now, volume 8 was very hard to come by. It actually found its way to my friend randomly. There's a whole story around that. The guy who's going to be filming the I Am Sound documentary is the guy that told me about this book and how it all happens. Now, volume 8, this is copyrighted 1941, this book was. So it's an old book. Yeah, it's a really old book. And there was many books before it. But when you come to understand, and I should have probably stuck in some highlights of the pages that I wanted to cover, because that would have been really useful. Didn't do that at all, obviously. I'm just diving straight in without planning. No plans. God has no plans. So I basically wanted to go and cover this because I wanted to show you that back then, all the way back in 1941, and long time before, hundreds of years before, these guys were studying some pretty unusual stuff. Stuff that we are only coming to learn today that is useful in many things that we're doing in terms of the kind of spiritual path that we're taking. Now, for those of you who know me well, you know that I had a business, I still technically do, it's currently in research and development, using magnets, and that business is called Sustainable Flow. It uses magnetic technology in a vortex structure to improve the consistency of fuel so it reduces carbon emissions. Long story, not for today. However, these guys were studying ancient magnetics and the principles of magnetics, you know, and how they were used within the earth. And they were also studying, and a lot of this stuff, by the way, that I've built that business and how I came to understand all the ancient magnetics and the water and so on, all came to me with meditations and then really weird synchronistic things happening in my life. And I built the life and the business and went on this massive mental journey. So I studied quite a lot. Now, I also fell into this area of cymatics, which is the effect of sound on physical matter, and also on water and on a number of other substances. These guys were also studying cymatics back in the day and how water affects the physical world and memory of water. And long before Dr. Masaru Emoto was discovering, if you don't know who Dr. Masaru Emoto is, he's the guy that did a series of experiments that could help you understand the power of water and that it has memory and that we can program it and it has an effect whenever we talk to water. It has an effect on objects. He did that with using snowflakes. I won't go into that, that will be another video. But these guys also looked at all of the different instruments used throughout. They looked at as above, so below, all the different kind of representations of the Hermetic principles. They looked at the Great Pyramid, looked at sacred geometric structures, and they looked in the beginning, there is the word, all these ancient symbols. So these guys really did go deep into the study of using altars in their studies and the psychic practices. Now, I wish I'd have, as I said, standard Nat, just jumping right in. I wanted to read you the, I'm going to find it, don't care if I have to wait. Awkward silence never hurt anyone, so just bear with me. Okay, So they looked at the effect of sound found within the different octaves within the human body related to the spine, which is very interesting. They also studied the human body and the structure of the human body and what's in there and how it relates to the architecture of buildings today. And then I wanted to find this section around the orders. Here we are. So, like the Freemasons, there's 33 degrees and orders and whatnot. I don't claim to know everything about them. I find it fascinating. The Rosecrutions had 12 orders. From the 9th order onwards is when it got really mystical. But I'm going to read out something from the 7th degree, so the 7th order. Now, I want you to just understand. I'll read it out in front, so I'm still looking at third camera. Okay, so the 7th degree. Now, this book explains all the different degrees. It's a very important book in terms of the volumes that you get as being a Rosecrucian member. The Rosecrucians are still around today. You can still pay to be a member and you can still get to learn all of this stuff. I did contemplate following and learning this, and then I thought, I don't really need to do that. I want to stay quite free within myself. But the subjects that they learn about are fascinating, and that's what, got my interest. But it's very important to know that when you're dealing with anything to do with information of this nature, that you come from the right place within your heart. You come from a place of consistency, from strength and having faith. Now, going into this magical area and not having any faith in anything is a very vulnerable way to look at this information, because you can be manipulated with dark magic. Now, magic itself, however you spell it, M-A-G-I-C or M-A-G-I-C-K, means slightly different things, but the magic can be used. Magic is real. Magic exists, as Roald Dahl said. For those who don't believe in magic, she'll never be the ones to find it. Magic exists. It's how you use it and what you do with it and the intention behind the magic that can become manipulative, controlling, dark and seductive. Now, any form of magic, if you're really religious, you will turn any kind of magic away. However, magic exists whether you like it or not. It's based around hermetic principles and the natural order of things. It doesn't need to be dark. And if you've got a fear around it, there's something you need to look at, because there's nothing to fear with this stuff. You only fear it if you use it in the wrong way, or if you get addicted to using it, or you think you need to manipulate things in order to get something. We don't need to sit there manifesting all the time to try and manipulate nature around us to draw things into us. When you allow the universe to show you and sit back and chill and rest and have faith, the universe brings you what you need. To sit there all witchy and try to manifest things all the time is actually a form of manipulation in many ways, and it's not healthy, and I don't suggest that you do it. I have in the past tried manifesting things and went down that very new age kind of spiritual path. For me, I felt that there was a manipulation there after I looked at it, and I felt that that was unhealthy for me to do, and I don't want to manipulate reality in that sense. Yes, you can improve reality based on your actions, and through meditation, but we don't need to call in all the 4 directions and everything else just to be able to manifest things. So I'm very separate. I believe in God, I have faith. I'm not going down a new age path of manifesting. However, these guys, very interesting content. Sorry, that was a really long way for me to get to this page, but I do like to ramble sometimes. So page 72 of the Rosecrucian Manual, Volume 8, the 7th degree. Very impressive psychic initiation illustrating some of the highest mystical teachings of the order, followed by a series of monographs and lessons dealing with the metaphysical and physical existence of man. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to say metaphysical is everything you can't see and physical is everything you can see. Remember that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I'm going to go a little bit further into that and say, imagine BBC Radio 1 and 2. BBC Radio 1 exists at the same time as BBC Radio 2, 3 and 4. You're tuned into Radio 1, you're not listening to Radio 2, 3 or 4. Doesn't mean they don't exist, someone else is tuned into them. The same in realities. There's other realities that exist, but if you are not tuned into them or you don't know how to tune into them, doesn't mean that they are not there. Your ignorance tells you that, yes, this is the only reality I live in. That's bullshit. And that's been proven time and time again. The very fact of the existence of quantum computers helps you understand that there are other, it's basically quantum computers work in the realm of using other realities to solve mathematical and many complications that we have in this reality. So it's a $1 billion industry. There are other realities, that's not the question here. It's knowing that there are other realities and what you do with them that becomes interesting. So I'm going to continue. I told you I like to ramble. So it says, we're leaving aside the material and earthly matters covered in the first 6 degrees that we've learnt, and this degree on the 7th degree fully explains the real purpose and the nature of the psychic body of man within the physical body, and contains exercises for strengthening the vitality and power of the psychic body with its psychic consciousness. I mean, I can't believe in 2021 there's still some people today believing that psychic doesn't exist, or they think, oh yeah, psychic, oh, and they don't believe it. It's like, we're all psychic, we just haven't fully tapped into it yet. So it says, we proceed to explain how the psychic body may be temporarily separated from the physical body and both be made visible at the same time. After these experiments are completed, the student, hence the person who's following the Rosecrucian order, is instructed in the Rosecrucian methods of projecting the psychic body out into space to any point or place there to be made visible to others without affecting the continuous functionality of the physical body. So what it's saying is you can detach your psychic body, go to another area, be present there, but still be here. You're splitting yourself. There's many books out there that explain how you can do this, and it sounds very interesting. And there's one that is, for me, which is the one on my thing. It's about remote viewing. The Cosmic Voyage by Courtney Brown. It's got PhD. It's on my shelf. He basically does explain to you how you can remote view. And remote view means that you can take your consciousness to another location and you can review things. You can see what's happening in other locations. This happens all the time. They use it in military. It's not woo-woo. It's a thing. So these guys were teaching this. Again, remember, 1941 was the 8th edition of this. So they've been teaching it for hundreds of years. We're just only getting to learn it now. It says here, other exercises in the development of the aura, so that it may be, and the development of the aura, sorry, so it confirms that there's an aura, so that it may be made visible in a darkened room and significantly, sorry, my reading's not the greatest, I'm going to start that again. Other exercises assist in the development of the aura, so that it may be made visible in the darkened room and sufficiently strong to cause illumination and to make the hands magnetic. I'm going to stop that there. Making the hands magnetic is basically what you do in Qigong. It's an ancient practice of working with the body. People who have been to a really good Reiki practitioner will be able to feel the energy of someone that can actually move energy within the body, proving again that we have power within our hands. I personally can create a ball of energy within my hands, and I play with it like a magnet, and I can move things around. And if anybody's had a healing session with me at some point, you will know I do have that power. But it was something that just came to me and that I ended up learning and harnessing. But it's interesting, and this is confirming that this exists. I also thought it was a bloody weirdo when it first happened, so that was an interesting story. So other exercises are given in the connection with the highest metaphysical vowel sounds, with methods for pronouncing them so as to produce psychic manifestations at will. So it's all about the lost word and using words within the correct way. I've gone on a little bit here and I want to make this video short, but the power of words. When we spell things, when we use spelling is casting spells. Words have power. The reason words have power is because words also have energy. So if I said a statement to you, I'm the word statement broken down into 2 parts. State is conscious state, like I'm putting you into a conscious state, and ment means mind. So when I make a statement, whatever words I'm using in that statement are programming your mind into how I want you to feel. So this is where the manipulation can come in, if you're using certain words to control things. So you can look at what's going on in the world right now, and the language that is used within the media, the language that is used within the court system, within the justice system. It's all a spell. These words wrap you up. These words take control of you. If you don't know the understanding and the etymology, which is the history of the words that are being used against you, you are vulnerable. We are vulnerable as a nation. We are vulnerable on this planet. We are actually in a state, we're actually in a state at the moment that we have been programmed into. Many people have been programmed. So when you wake up and you realise that this world's not as you thought it was, you've come out of the programming, yeah, you've come out of that and you've seen it for what it is, and you can realise that a television is telling a vision. Okay, this is why with I Am Sound, I've actually said we're telling a new vision. That's what our TV platform is. We're telling a new vision. We want to program you in a different state, in a one that's happier, healthier, more conscious, more alive, one that's going to help and set you free. Not this bullshit that we live in today. So this basically covers a number of other things. I'm not going to go too much into it, but this book was hard to come by, and when you get it, it's not about just ordering it and allowing it to fly through your letterbox. When the guy delivered this to me, this didn't just come into my house. Okay, I sat outside using my magnetic hands, and I protected myself, because this book, whoever's hands it's been in before, was built for the purpose of understanding the metaphysical world. Now that world can be dark, and I wanted to clear up the energy of this book. Yes, you might think I'm a witch. Yes, I maybe have been in a past life, but today I understand the principles of words, power, energy, vibration. I used my own energy to cleanse that book before it came to me, so I can use it for the highest good of all. I didn't just allow it to come in, because books, objects, they can have certain energies attached to them that don't work in your highest good. So please know that when you're working with any ancient materials, or you're working in any way, it's not about pretending that you're on the craft and you're a witch and you can hold these spells and these powers, and that you're, because you've learned a little bit on YouTube, you're now able to go out and work with this ancient stuff. This is explosive stuff, and this is why I want to break it all down and bring it into I Am Sound. But it's really important for you to know that this is not about religion. This is not about, freedom. This is about understanding the current structure and how it exists. Yeah, we're not going to go down the religious journey of this. We're going to look at the core qualities of it around science, physics, mathematics, the sacred geometry of that, and how it all metaphysically comes together, how it all blends together, and how it can be used against us. Okay, so once you understand that, you can then find your freedom. Your freedom is something separate. You can find yourself, but you need to understand what it is before you know how you can unravel yourself. So that's what I hope this video is going to help you understand this. I hope it's interesting for you. It's just one of many books I'm going to go into. But I wanted to do a little bit behind the scenes and explain the kind of journey I'm going on. So if that hasn't been mind-bending for any of you, sorry. But this is me at my happiest, researching and learning. And today I'm getting shit done. So I made these myself. That's my little thing that goes in there to tell me what page I'm on. So I hope you have a good day. If those of you who joined me on Insight Timer last night for our weekly meditation, thank you very much. I really enjoyed. There was about 160 of you on there or so. I will be back online on meditation on Insight Timer on the 28th, Mondays. It's every Monday night at 7:30. You can join me for a deep dive into meditation, ask me questions. But I love that platform. It's a really cool platform, and I've been a teacher on there for some time. So join me there. You can join me at my website, where'snatat.com, and I will see you very soon, hopefully on the next one, to discover more about the Rosecrutions and the journey of sound. Bye for now.